Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, Angel Gabrielle. My divine masculine and I are each other's divine justice and good karma in love. My divine masculine and I have experienced similar relationships that were extremely karmic and toxic and unhealthy. My divine masculine and I also have experienced partners that are considered covert narcissists and malignant narcissists. My divine masculine and I have experienced nothing but superficial, artificial relationships that had no substance and no depth. Everything was just strictly surface level in relationships that we've ever been in. And God brought us together going on 33 months ago for a greater purpose and a divine purpose. And when we came together, we were both broken, unhealed, spiritually unawakened, and we met in the dark. And we were both at a low point in our lives because we were still in karmic relationships that were extremely karmic and toxic. And we didn't break free from that sort of environment, that toxicity, because it was a comfort zone. And so what we have, my divine masculine and I, is a profound, destined, and corrective connection that God brought together for a greater purpose and a divine purpose, because we were meant to heal one another, come together, and we were also meant to teach each other how to trust again, how to love again, but love unconditionally. To love somebody unconditionally is the most highest level of love there is. Conditioned love is not loved. Being in superficial relationships with your so-called quote-unquote loved one or partner that you think you love, these types of relationships don't last, and they're extremely unhealthy. And God brought us together so that we could heal one another, bring out the best in one another, and learn how to trust again. Because when you're in karmic toxic relationships, it's a repetitive thing, a repetitive cycle that we get ourselves in. And until we can break these cycles and these karmic loops and these karmic cycles and the toxicity by walking away from the people, places, and things in our life that do not serve our highest good, then we will never be free. We will not ever feel liberated on the inside or free on the outside. And we both are instrumental in healing old wounds, imbalances from past lives and experiences in our current life. And we are both the just outcome for the suffering that we both have endured, lived through, been through in previous relationships in love. The love that my divine masculine and I have for one another is not just a sacred, divine, unconditional love between two souls, but it is a love that was destined to come together in divine union. It is a love that we both deserve to experience, and it is a love that two worthy souls deserve to have. Our love for one another is meant to fulfill a higher purpose and a divine purpose. The love that my divine masculine and I have is meant to heal each other and is meant to help us grow, learn, evolve into becoming a better version of ourselves, but it also plays a greater role. Our love is meant to heal the collective. And the divine justice that I'm speaking about is that our relationship was meant to help correct previous misalignments and to bring us both back to a state of spiritual order and truth. Where there was once chaos, there is now order. Our love is meant to heal one another, and our love is meant to heal the collective. And I'm not the only one that's going through this, because I'm very aware that there's other divine connections, with between the divine feminines and the divine masculines that are coming together in divine union. But there's a lot of things that had to play a part before the destined coming together in divine union took place. We all had to learn to rid ourselves from these karmic, toxic, unhealthy environments and unhealthy relationships and friendships, etc., before we could actually move forward in our own lives and grow and evolve into becoming a better version of ourselves and becoming a better version of ourselves for one another, so that we could move forward with our divine unions. The third parties had to be removed, and they've all been removed. And we've had to learn a lot of things when it's come to not just walking away from the people, places, and things in our life that no longer serve our highest good, but we also had to learn the art of setting healthy boundaries with people that are extremely unhealed, unhealthy, and unhinged low vibrational energies. We had to learn our own self-value. We had to learn to love ourselves first before we could love anyone else. And we also had to learn that true love is not superficial love. True love is a love that has depthness, that has, meaning, and it's not fake. You don't have, when you're around someone you truly love and they truly love you, there's no fakeness about it. But when you're in these superficial relationships, it's like everybody's like trying to please everybody and just like follow the leader, but when you can break free from the cycles of being in superficial relationships, that in and of itself is enough of a milestone where you could literally feel liberated on the inside and freed on the outside. And so my divine masculine and I both play an equal part in acting as a mirror. In other words, holding the mirror up to one another and reflecting the areas within ourselves and each other that need attention and healing, which is a form in and of itself of divine intervention and guiding us towards wholeness and unity. Our good karma is a positive result of our rewarding union, mutual growth, and breaking the karmic toxic cycles that kept us chained, bound, and that kept us feel stuck and in our own mental imprisonment. We had to break these chains because we had to come to realize we're not meant to be caged up. Just because you're in a partnership or a relationship with someone and there's absolutely no commitment behind it, you don't own me and I don't own you, And some of our past relationships were relationships where partners tried to make you feel caged up. Like, if I can't have you, nobody can have you, And a lot of emotional manipulation, emotional trickery, magic spells, all of that is what happened to my divine masculine and I. All to further keep us apart and to, hinder the growth of a divine union that's meant and destined and ordained by God to come together. And when you can break free from these karmic cycles, these karmic loops, then essentially you're going from feeling powerless and limitless to feeling, you know, whole and, you know, the sky's the limit. You're not limitless. You're, you know, you're not stuck. You know, you're not powerless. You're powerful. And when you can break karmic cycles, karmic loops, then you can rid yourself from your own mental imprisonments, your own ways of self-sabotaging yourself, and new connections that are supposed to evolve. And essentially, you go from being powerless to powerful, you know. It's just, and until you can break those chains by walking away from the people, places, and things in your life that no longer serve your highest good, you're going to continue to live in bondage. You're going to continue to be in the karmic loops and the cycles. And that's where the false matrix kicks in. And it is my goal to break as many people as I can out of the false matrix. We're not meant to play follow the leader. We all have our unique gifts and qualities, and we all are worthy and valuable. And when you're in the false matrix, a lot of times you feel discredited, you feel devalued, unheard, unseen, you know, but it is my goal to just really break people free from the false matrix. And I'm hoping here in the near future to go more into detail about that. But since my Divine Masculine and I both have played an active part in breaking free from the karmic loops, cycles, and the chains, essentially, basically, we've been able to heal and break generational curses, because that goes along with it. When you can free yourself from the karmic cycles, from things that hold you back from moving forward in all areas of your life, when you can break yourself free from that, then you are essentially at that point a generational curse breaker. You've broken the chains that kept you bound, that kept you caged. Because really, in actuality, it was all an illusion. False evidence appearing real. And I just hope this little message gave some people some food for thought. And if anything, gave you a little bit of, you know, insight in how imperative it is that if you want your life to change, your relationship dynamic to change, you've got to change. If you want true love, unconditional love in your life, you've got to first learn how to unconditionally love yourself. And I just hope that this message was a little bit of, you know, spiritual awakening for you all. And hopefully gave you a little bit of, you know, inspiration to consider reevaluating things in your own personal lives and relationships, and decide, do you want to break the karmic cycles and the karmic chains that you keep putting yourselves through? Or do you want to be comfortable in your comfort zone and keep putting up with the crap? You know, we all have free will. And essentially, going through this level of change and being able to break the karmic cycles, the karmic chains, the karmic loops, and walking away from the drama starters, the gossip starters, in and of itself is a way of spiritual awakening. It is a spiritual awakening in and of itself. And I hope that whoever's out there can really consider in your personal relationships and whatever that you're going through, I hope that you could consider really asking yourself, Do you want to stay stuck and settle and continue to be in superficial relationships? Or are you ready to break those chains and step outside of that and take that leap of faith on yourself, even if it's scary because you're stepping into the unknown? The choice is yours, because we do have free will. But my divine masculine and I are deserving of the love that we share for one another. And it doesn't matter, and it makes no difference what the opinions of other people are and what the opinions of other people have to say. Because a real, genuine, unconditional love between two souls is a love worth fighting for and not giving up on, regardless of the opinions of other people. True love and true unconditional love between us that we have is less about paying off debts and more about mutual fulfillment. The universe and God look favorably upon my divine masculine and I and our divine union that's meant to come together in divine union in the 3D. And we are destined to have this divine union, regardless of the opinions of other people. And this favorable divine union is built on a foundation of spiritual alignment and positive energy rather than unresolved issues. Our divine union is a divine ordained union by God and the divine, and has always been highly protected in the spiritual realm, despite the spiritual attacks, the monitoring spirits, the spiritual warfare that's been going on my YouTube channel and between my divine masculine and I. And in spite of everything, we've always been highly protected in the spiritual realm and highly favored in the spiritual realm. And we are both now highly ranked in the spiritual realm because of our growing and ascending and evolving spiritually. It's all about doing the work, putting the work in on yourselves, and not taking shortcuts. And it's about setting healthy boundaries with people that cross your boundaries. It's about speaking up for yourself, having enough self-respect, and not backing down, I don't want anybody on my channel to feel like you have to be a coward and you can't come forward and speak your truth and speak your mind and stand in your authenticity, because it doesn't matter what the opinions of other people say. I don't care what people say about me right now because I'm homeless and I have no place to call home. But I know that this is not my destination, and I know that my latter days will be better than my former days. I have no way to sleep in a bed. I'm pretty much up 24/7 around the clock. And that's why I've come forward and asked if any of you are able to and would consider giving. I would really appreciate it at such a time as this. I know that there's people that can't give, but you can pray for me. And I am a prayer warrior myself. I pray for people on my channel. And I'm one of those people that I don't just want to elevate in my life, but I want to see other people win too. And I am a very genuine person, and I have a big heart. But if any of you out there have heard my story, have seen my GoFundMe page, and the continued updates that I've been doing on my GoFundMe page, if any of you are aware of this, please don't ignore it. If you can help me, please help me. I have no proper way to sleep. And what has happened to me is not an act of my own negligence or poor money management skills. I was victimized. And it is taking me a hell of a lot of time to get back up on my feet. But I'm not giving up. And I'm trusting in God, Source, Universe, Creator. And I'm believing for the best outcome. Because even though there's people that don't like me here on my channel, they don't have to be on my damn channel. I didn't invite you to be here on my channel. But because you don't like somebody, that doesn't mean you put them through humiliation. You put all these rituals and spells, and just because you don't like somebody, just because you're out here trying to be a pick-me-sha, you know, my Divine Masculine has a lot of suitors, and so do I, but I could care less because I only have eyes for my Divine Masculine, and I've always been faithful and honest and true and loyal to him, regardless of these ugly, nefarious people on my channel that have tried to do everything in their power to stop a divine union that's destined and orchestrated by God and the divine to come together. There's no more delays that are going to happen anymore. All the magic spells, any other further effort, are being returned back to senders, and access has been denied. And also, the practitioners that these nefarious people have hired, intentionally, deliberately, and maliciously, these practitioners are getting their karma too. And I just want to encourage my collective that if you have kept abreast with my messages and what I'm going through, and you can help, I'm asking you to please help and to please pray for me, because I would appreciate all the help I can get right now. And the weather is getting colder, and I have no place to lay down. And even though there are people that don't give a shit and don't like me, that still shouldn't take away from all of you out there that can at least do something good. And, you know, it's an act of humanity. Come forward and show your compassion by doing something that would make a difference in my life. And whatever you can donate, 5, 10, 20, it all adds up. I'm just trying to keep a roof over my head. And right now, I'm staying nowhere. I'm literally on the streets. But I have come back to the Red Roof Inn to do my video tonight, so I'd at least have lighting and shelter through my video, through the time of doing my video. But after this video, I'm back out on the streets. And this is not a life that I chose for myself. And even though I'm going through all this, I'm not going to give up on God or myself or my Divine Masculine. Because I know that my Divine Masculine will come forward. He will break this silence between us. And we will, you know, start this renewal, this do-over, and this coming together between us. Because the silence is deafening. It's killing me inside every day. I miss you, Rodrigo. And I'm praying for you and your family. And I just hope to hear from you soon. I don't want you to concern yourself with the opinions of other people anymore, because these people aren't paying your bills, and in actuality, they could care less about you. And I'm not trying to be rude or harsh, but it's the truth. It's the truth. There's way too many people out here, collective, that try to meddle in everybody's affairs and this type of thing. But when it comes down to it, they're not genuine. And they sure in the hell don't have your best interest at heart. So if you can free yourself from karmic and toxic people in your lives, and setting healthy boundaries, and learning to free yourself from this type of toxicity by walking away from the people, places, and things in your life, I am encouraging you right now to please do so. Walk away from the toxicity. Break these karmic chains. You're going to do yourself a whole lot of justice when you do. I love all of you, and I'm so grateful for those that have really been genuinely supporting me here on my channel through all of the bullcrap that I've been going through and all the injustice that I've been going through. And I'm just trying to get by every day, and I'm just not going to give up. And I'm just really grateful for having given this message tonight. I hope it was some, food for thought for some of the collective. And at least, if anything, it encouraged you to reevaluate your current situation and circumstances. Are you going to just continue to stay in the same karmic loops and cycles and play follow the leader and be a part of these superficial relationships? Or are you going to break the chains that keep you bound by stepping out of your comfort zone, even if it's scary because you're stepping into the unknown? I just want you to think about that. And I hope that you all make the best choices and decisions. I hope you all are doing well wherever you are in the world. And if you can help me, please help me. God bless all of you.